And the farm is back. Today we're breaking down the May 22nd, Friday 12-game slate, mainly DraftKings. Again, this stuff will apply to betting and DFS across the board. So like if you play FanDuel or other sites, I don't even know what other sites you'd play at these days. But I love a Friday this 22nd slate because it's like, I mean, obviously the 22nd, there's just so much,
There's so much synergy there. Listen,
yes.
plus I'm rolling off the 10K single entry win. I think I cleared 16 that day, which is amazing. Yeah. This is the next big slate, so I plan to go back to back. 10K plus days would be lovely to start the weekend. So
if you do recall, our biggest Friday other win this season was like, we won 17 on a Friday slate. Friday's been good. So like,
that was you. Good one.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like Fridays are positive. Some positive, I don't know. I was gonna say voodoo, but yeah, I don't have those abilities. I haven't looked at the slate down, so like this will be kind of like I think you've taken a more in-depth look than I have. So we'll kind of go game by game again. Do you have it up on Savant, or do you want me to we can just go to the DraftKings?
So I have Savant up on my phone. Actually, once again, I'm just battling some work and internet issues, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do StatCast through my phone.
Okay.
I think what we do this time, just line it up from what you see in the DraftKings game by game, and I'll touch base on what I see on Baseball Savant.
That's perfect. Yeah. So we'll jump right into it though. Anything else you want to add before we go into it? 12 game slate, pick your spots.
No. I think pick your spots, and I'm going to start doing this and just giving confidence rating on whether I think this game has the potential to be on the slate winning. I did that when I just did the single entry. I think me going through the games and just giving them a definitive number of my expectation of the games and whether it be pitchers or batters that could be optimal. I'm going to start doing that just game by game, so I can kind of X off spots. So The great thing about this slate, there's a ton of good pitching, ton of good spots. I think you can get different in a multitude of ways without playing any bad teams. So I'm ready to get started.
Agreed. Yeah, I think to your point, isolate, like for us, especially in single entry builds, it's just isolate your build. We'll jump right into it. We'll go to the Yankees game first. So this is Yankees, Tampa Bay visiting the New York Yankees. You got Garrett Cole in his first start, who looked great in his last AAA start, and then Nick Martinez for Tampa Bay. I'll give my take first, and I'll spit it to you. I don't like either pitcher per se. Like Garrett Cole, I don't know how deep he'll go. He's somewhat interesting because he looked, he showed kind of the elite strikeout stuff in his last AAA start, but this is not the AAAs. This is not high A. This is the big leagues, and he's playing Tampa, who's like just been winning every game, and they have they can kind of hit around, and I don't love their lineup, but like they find a way to get runners aboard, and they can be pesky to Garrett Cole. So at 8.5, I will avoid Garrett Cole. On the other side, Nick Martinez is he's a perennial ground ball guy, and he's always a guy I used to love to stack against, but stacks because he's such a good ground ball pitcher. It's you have a couple base runners and a double play, and I don't want that with the Yankees. It is in New York though, so there's if I had to choose a side offensively, it would be the Yankees, but Nick Martinez is still solid enough to where I don't think I'm going to go there on a 12-game slate. But there's some tepid interest. There's some tepid interest depending on the lineup. Nick Martinez has been good enough to for me not to make it a priority. But I think maybe I could get to a 3 to 5 man stack. And depending on the lineup, throw some guys like Jazz, obviously Aaron Judge, Ben Rice. But it's so expensive, you have to be a priority. So I think long story short, it's avoid the pitching for me. Potentially throw some New York bats in there.
Yeah, so it's funny. Garrett Cole's last outing, he was absolutely throwing gas. I think he touched 100, and then someone zoomed in on his coffee cup, and it was a triple shot espresso, which is hilarious. He was absolutely throwing gas. And listen, he's fine at 8.5. Not a priority for me. We know who Garrett Cole is, but do we know who he is now? Right? We knew who he was. Is this the same guy? Stuff in minors look fine, but sometimes these guys down there just not taking it that seriously. He obviously needs to be ramped up. 8.5 is a fine price. Don't love the matchup. I mean, don't look now, but the Tampa Bay Rays have been an absolute menace to society. They're the top team in baseball. I can't do it. Just looking on either side, I think you said something important about Nick Martinez. So when he was on the Reds, I was listening to the Reds beat writer, and he was talking about just the way he takes the game so seriously and just his need to get better, makes mistakes, goes back, watches film, corrects those mistakes. He's a guy that's very into his game. And Why that doesn't matter at all, I just think I kind of see that as a red flag to stack against. I think if he makes a mistake, he's going to button down, kind of not compound his mistakes, right? Just as a veteran guy on the mound. So to your point, I'm not going to stack the Yankees, although they're always in play, right? There's such a prolific offense that can hit home runs in bunches. And it's in Yankee Stadium. But even so, it's going to be one of those games. Like I said, I think I'm just gonna X out, going to cross off. If I had to give it a rating on the scale of 1 to 10, the confidence rating that I would say this game could be on the optimal, I would say it's a 3 or 4. We could say 4 just because the Yankees have the potential to blow up any slate, and then Garrett Cole at 8.5 is a wild card. If he goes in and strikes out 10 at 8.5, you're going to want him. For me, I'm Xing this game off. But 3 or 4, I wouldn't be surprised if I look back and you're like, oh, you wanted a piece of this game. So that's all I have there.
I agree. For me, it would be the Yankee side, though. The confidence interval would be much more weighted towards the Yankees bats. Give
me a number. Give me a number.
Yeah, like I guess again, that's if you're just like on a 1 to 10 scale, right? Like maybe a 2 or 3. Like it's not like a part. Okay. And partly because of the price, right? That you have to pay. Like the guys that are best batters, like you want Ben Rice, you want Aaron Judge, even Jazz. Like these guys are expensive. So it's like because of the increased price, I think it should even be potentially lower, right? Like you have to make a stand there, and you have to get pretty much subpar bats elsewhere to make that work if you want competent pitching. But I think something else.
The reason for the rating is simply that, hey, we look back, we reflect on the slate, which I do constantly when I do good or bad, right? When I win the single entry, I reflect, okay, where could I have been better? Got 9th in the Big 18. It's like the A's, right? The A's make sense. They can blow up, right? So you look at these games, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to play this game. I'm going to exit off, but I give it a 3 or 4 in the sense of I can look back and see why this game could be an optimal strategy to win, right? So there's some games I'm going to give a 1 or a 2 where I can't fathom looking back in this being a game you need to have. So to your point, the Yankees are prolific. And for me, we have to be bullish and make stands because we're playing single entry, high dollar stuff, not a lot of multi-entry. So for me, it's just going to be an X off, but I can understand the path to this game getting there.
Yeah, for sure. Mainly avoid maybe Yankees depending on how I want to build. All right, let's get to the next game. We got Pittsburgh going to Toronto. We got Kevin Gausman for the Jays, and then Bubba Chandler for the Pirates. First initial take is I feel like Kevin Gausman's pretty affordable at 8.3. We haven't seen a bunch of like we've had some up and down starts from Kevin Gausman, but like generally speaking, the Kevin Gausman experience is like a good, like he can get to 100 plus pitches and get 8-9 Ks, and like I like this spot. Like Pittsburgh's like offense generally speaking is not, I mean they're a top half team, but like they still try. You have a lot of big Ks in the lineup. I mean the best batter, O'Neal Cruz, strikes out a ton. So I think Kevin Gausman 8.3 is just like he's firmly in play, one of my favorite pitchers. We'll get to some other pitchers later on, but I think the priority play for me from this side is Kevin Gausman. I still believe and have faith in Bubba Chandler. At 6K, like, you know what? There's worse options, but we just really haven't seen him put it together. He walks too many guys. His number still suggests that he's going to be pretty decent long term, but at 6K, Dylan, I think you played Maldinsky from the Pirates last night. I think like those type of, like, I think he fits firmly in that category. Like Toronto's offense hasn't been, scary by any means. And like the back half of the line is pretty weak. So like Bubba Chandler I think would be in play. I think Baldwin Gausman 1, Bubba Chandler 2. And because I like the pitchers, I'm kind of avoiding the offenses altogether. I don't have any interest in Toronto or Pittsburgh from the offensive side, but I think both pitchers are in play. And I think if you need to dumpster dive for SP2, I think Bubba Chandler is a fine option.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. Bubba Chandler's stuff is electric, but I think Toronto getting healthier is just going to be a problem for him. And he walks too many guys. He could absolutely make Toronto stack and play for me. I agree with you on Kevin Gausman, though. He's too cheap. I mean, Matthew Liberatore has been horrible this year and just struck out the Pirates like 10 times. It was maybe 8 or 9. At 8, I was like, I give up on this slate. He struck out 8 batters. What is he doing there? It's Matthew Liberatore, right? So Kevin Gausman, would you be shocked if he had 10 plus strikeouts? I sure wouldn't, right? You said he could go deep. Just churn through this lineup.
Yeah.
The thing about the Pittsburgh Pirates this year, they're a better team offensively, but the strikeouts are still there, right? They're giving up some of that hit and some of the, singles for selling out for home runs and some power, but just also more swing and miss. So happy to play Gausman. I think at 8.3, he's a great player. And he could be a priority on this slate. The only cause for concern is there's so many good pitching. There's so much good pitching. Decent pitcher's park in Toronto at home. Really like it a lot. I think Gausman is absolutely in play. For Bubba Chandler, I can't do it. He just hasn't shown his ability to mesh his stuff with his actual on the field performance.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean 2 weeks ago you were playing Bubba Chandler at 8-8, and now he's 6K even on a 12. And I get it because you know what? In those last 2 weeks you haven't seen enough to justify it. But if the spot to play Bubba, this feels like an obvious okay, 6K is I don't think he puts up 30 points, but he could easily put up 20 plus points in the spot. And you'd be like, oh,
you think me fading Bubba Chandler at 6K when I've been playing him is hilarious. Wait till you see the SB2 I'm considering late. I'm considering Davis Martin at 8-6. And I've been stacking against this guy since the beginning of time, and he's been absolutely shoving this year. Now he's facing the Giants. Are you kidding me? He's just striking out everyone. His new pitch is working, but once again, we gotta remove our priors and look at the data, look where it's trending. And Bubba Chandler has electric stuff. But what is his upside in this case, right? We see that.
I think 20 plus points is.
I disagree in the sense of I think Toronto's finding themselves. Okamoto's obviously been. Varsho's been absolutely. I think he's hitting 400 over the last 10 games. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. George Springer's back causes headaches for team. We know Vlad steady. I mean, not going to hit home runs, but just be a problem out in the lineup. Yeah. Even guys like Jimenez down the lineup, I could totally see the Toronto team causing problems. And that being said, I think I'm going to give this game a 5 on the whether you need to have it or not. And mostly coming from the Gosman side, I think Gosman could absolutely be a pitcher. You look back in the end of under the slate, and he has 35 points. So he could be a pitcher you need to have. As far as you need to have in this game, I think it could be a 5. Right? I won't play Bubba. I will play Gosman. Toronto Blue Jays are interesting, but I understand your take. Bubba's immensely talented. He could find it in one outing, but he hasn't found it all season. What's the odds that it shows up here for a 25-point performance? Yeah, I'd say pretty low.
I think he has shown it all season. It's just been in a few innings, right? He'll have 2 elite innings, and then you heard this stat. It's he is one of the worst in the league with 2 strikes. His swinging strike rate with 2 strikes is the bottom. It doesn't even make sense. It's so bad that there's something funky. Maybe you have to attribute it to luck, and because of that, Dylan, it's you feel like Vantage will switch on that. And so for me, I think we can leave with that. I think the priority for me is Gosman. Secondary, I would like Bubba Chandler. Again, the Bubba Chandler stat that's interesting is his swing strike rate is very good, but the swing strike rate with 2 strikes is so low, and those two things just don't make sense. Either his put away pitch isn't working, or his pitch selection is off. But some of that's got to be some of that will regress towards his historical average, and so I like him at 6K is interesting. I don't know. I haven't built a mock team yet, so I don't know if I even need to dumpster dive at pitcher there. But I think he's firmly in play for me. I get the love on Toronto. Toronto is a best ball stand. I like them a lot. I like their offense. To your point, the Springer's back. It helps turn the lineup over a bit more. But I think let's jump to the. Oh, go ahead.
Add one more thing there. This is important about Bubba. Bubba Chandler's walking at a 60% rate, and a stat I heard yesterday actually when I was watching the game is when you start the count 1-0, batters have a 300 average against you this season. When you start the count 0-1, you have a 181 average or something. So it's Bubba Chandler's throwing too many balls, right? So he obviously has stuff, but when you walk guys and you get behind in the counts, you have to throw stuff in the zone. And it's going to get hit much harder, and that's the problem for Bubba.
But that's generally strikeout pitchers will walk. There's even Jacob Mizrowski, his last season struck out a lot of guys, but his walk per 9 was crazy high because
Chandler's walk K percentage is only 19% this year. That's below league average.
I know that's because that's below his average as well. But that number is being informed by the fact that he can't throw a strike. He can't get guys swinging and missing with 2 strikes, and he constantly gets guys and pitchers counts, and he just cannot put them away. So that to me, that will ultimately correct itself over the course of time and regress back to his mean. But let's with this, we're 2 games in, so we gotta keep this ship rolling. We got Minnesota going to Boston. We got Peyton Tolley on the mound and Connor Prelip. I like both the pitchers here. I don't know if from a DFS perspective I like both of them, but Peyton Tolley's 8-9. Yeah, Prelip's 7K even. I don't believe in Minnesota offense, so I feel like Peyton Tolley's firmly in play. He's got electric stuff. He is expensive. So, to me, it's I would still prefer Gosman over Peyton Tolley here. But you got to consider him. He's looked. I think the one time I played him with a decent amount of stock, he got shelled. But outside of that, he's been phenomenal this season. Prelip is good in his own right as well. So I think, to me, it's one of those spots again. You kind of avoid the bats and target the pitchers if you like. I think you could play Prelip here as well. Lefty's going to be on the mound, so I don't know if Duran's going to play. They do have some guys that can smash lefties in the lineup, like Wilson Contreras. But yeah, to me, it's the pitchers, Tolley and Prelip, and then I'm not going to prioritize any bats. What about you?
Yeah, it's another game. I mean, are you kidding me? Peyton Toley injected. He's an absolutely amazing play.
Yeah.
His underlines are phenomenal. The biggest concern with Toley, if you're going head to head versus Gosman, is just the pitch count. Toley might throw 90 pitches, but he went 9 innings. I went 8 innings last game. On 85 pitches. Amazing. And the guy just absolutely shoves. The biggest concern, one red flag is the Twins have been pesky against lefties. That's the biggest concern.
Yeah.
If they can get pesky here, that's fine. But I am an absolute seller on that offense. I think they're absolutely horrible. So for me, Peyton Toley is absolutely in the consideration in the single entry. Might just have to do it. I mean, I don't even care about his pitch count. I think the guy shoves. I think he could strike out 7 to 10 here, and I wouldn't be shocked one bit.
I love it. I do remember we were earlier this year in the stream talking about Peyton Toley. Like, why'd you play him? It's not safe. And now you're advocating for Peyton Toley at 9K when I played him at 7-8.
I think it's upset here, but you have to remember matchups make everything, right? So the Twins are a bottom 5 offense in the league. Right?
I agree.
Who did Peyton Toley struggle against? Let me just go back.
It was just Toronto. It was Toronto. That's who we played.
Exactly. And
it was Toronto without George Springer.
The same conversation we had then. You assume that Toronto is just going to continue to be bad, and I assume they're going to be better. So it's kind of why you like Bubba Chandler too.
Yeah, but hold on. But let me get this point across. Peyton Toley was 7-3 in that matchup, and like he's now 8-9. So I get it. Yeah, Minnesota's worse than Toronto. I think they were probably.
I just want to come with a correction. Peyton Toley was 8-1 in that matchup.
8-1. Yeah, 8-9.
Now he's 8-9, which is fine. There's not a big delta there, and the Twins are a far worse matchup. The Twins are a far worse matchup than Toronto, even without 50-year-old George Springer with a cane out of bat. Like not. I'm not concerned. Like, George Springer's a guy that's hard to get out, but he's not a guy that is a world beater on your offense. So Peyton Toley absolutely in play in Boston. Let's go. Peyton Toley shoves. He's great in the spot.
I love Peyton Toley. Yeah, I'm there.
No doubt. And like Connor Prelip in the same breath is just another guy. I don't think I want to play. Boston's heating up. Duran, the Republican is just getting after it, which I respect. I mean, he's doing his thing. He's just, I think last night he scored 30 points again. I played him and he won on my single entry. He was my highest score at 34 points. When the guy gets hot, he gets hot and he steals, he hits home runs. Just play him. Especially when he's feeling himself. And you're less likely to get him taken out of the game against a lefty. And you might not even see him in the lineup, right, against the lefty. But now that he's hitting better and he's actually had some hits against lefties lately, I think you could see him in the lineup. The problem is it's Prelip. Prelip's good, in my opinion. Does walk a lot of guys, but has good stuff overall. So just going to X off the bats in this game. As far as the confidence you're going to need one of these guys, I'm giving it a 7 or an 8. I think Peyton Toley can put up a score you're going to need to have in this slate, and he's absolutely a priority for me. Interesting.
Yeah, I like Peyton Toley a lot. May prefer Gosman, but I think it's close. Nothing else from this game. Let's get to the next one here. This game should be quick. We have the Mets versus the Marlins. The Mets going to Miami. You got Freddie Peralta on the mound and Yuri Perez coming back from Miami. So like I'm a best ball guy that drafted a ton of Yuri Perez. I just haven't seen it. He's 7-3. Peralta's 9K. I just don't like anything from this game. Like Peralta seems too expensive. Doesn't seem like he has the strikeout upside to be in consideration at 9K. Yuri Perez, I just don't think he's been good enough to consider even at 7-3. Like I just don't trust him. And the Mets lineup is getting healthier. They've been hitting better. Bo Bichette's heating up. Like I don't like it. I guess to me, it's like if I went any direction in this game, it'd be potentially like the Mets bats. That would be the most interesting build for me. Like your price has been very shaky at times. He's not like teetering on gas can yet, but like it is like when I look at the matchup, I'm not going to consider Miami against Freddie Peralta, but I think the Mets are someone who played as they start to heat up. Bo Bichette has like 3 home runs in his last 2 games or something crazy, and like obviously Soto's there. Carson Bench is playing better. You got AJ Ewing. You got an interesting lineup there if you want to get a guy against a guy. On the road in Miami, you're going to get definite 9 innings. You can see the Mets blowing up for a big score. But outside of that, it's like not much interest. Again, neither pitcher, and then maybe some Mets bats.
I don't know how you give me the bull case on Bubba Chandler, and it's like not the same. Like Bubba Chandler and Yuri Perez are the Spider-Man meme looking back at each other. Like they're the same thing, and Yuri's been better. So it's like
Yuri Perez is $1,300 more in a harder matchup.
No, sir.
The Mets have been better than Toronto.
No, sir. From an offensive perspective, they're very. I mean, people love playing against the Mets because they have a weak bottom half of their lineup.
So you say it's that stark. It's like they're probably right next to each other.
That's exactly my point. They're right next to each other. So you're giving the case to like, and Yuri's been better than Bubba. This is my point.
$1,800 difference. That's such a big difference.
It doesn't matter. In DFS, you have to play guys that can score, right? The other day you played Bailey Ober. He got a win and scored 6 points. I played Carmen. He got a win and he scored like 6 points. Like it's just not enough. You need guys that are going to strike guys out. That can do well. And I think Yuri Perez still has a strikeout stuff. Last game was cruising till he gave up a 3-run shot in like a 6th or 7th inning. So he's fine. If I had to pick one, obviously even at salary, I'd probably pick Yuri Perez. That being said, I'm staying away from this game. Freddie Peralta is a guy that just works up too many pitches on time. The Miami Marlins have been pesky. Just going to be a next off game for me. As far as guys, confidence in this game, I think you need to have it. It's a 2. I don't think either pitcher does enough, and I think neither team is worth stacking up. So for me, a 2, confidence. I think you can play the pitchers, but complete avoid on either.
Yeah. I get it, man. I still don't understand how you grouped Bubba Chandler and Yuri Perez in the same breath. Yeah. I cut you off there for a second. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did we lose you?
No, I think I lost you.
Robo Taylor is in full effect.
Yeah.
He's back. He's back.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the next one. I think we nothing else to add from that game. I won't belabor the point around Yuri Perez and Bubba Chandler. We got Washington at Atlanta. This is obviously going to be an interesting game. I'm assuming from your perspective, but Bryce Elder for the Braves, and then you got Mikolas for the Nationals. I mean, it just feels like an obvious play the Braves here. Mikolas gives up a ton of hard contact. I think last time we stacked against him, he also gave up several. It's just like he's not really like an MLB quality pitcher at this point in his career. I think you got to consider the offense, especially for the Braves here. Bryce Elder's been competent at 8-1. I just I don't want to play Washington against him. I guess there's maybe some merit to play. He's just been good enough to where I won't consider it. 8-1 is fairly cheap given his production, his real DFS production. I think there's better options. But I think the Braves are going to be a priority. I'll have them on each and every team. I'm a Braves fan, but also I just feel like it's probably the best, if not the best, one of the best offensive spots is on the slate. I think 3 5-man sacks makes sense across the board. You have Walt Weiss gets interesting, gets creative with the lineup too. So you could kind of wait on the Braves lineup and see who you want to play and where you want to play them. But I like it a lot. I'm assuming you do too, Dylan. Though, what's your take?
Giddy up, Braves all day. I mean, it's another matchup too where listen, the Braves haven't shown it as much. I mean, Michael Harris has run a little bit. Austin Riley's sprint speed is amazing, but Keeper Ruiz's pop time is terrible. They should be able to run all over this Nationals team, which I love, right? From a stacking perspective, guys get on, you just see that, it just adds up in spades for you. So for me, Braves 5-man, if I can do it. I just don't know about Acuna. He's coming back from the hammy. Is he gonna run, right? You could definitely see him hit a couple bonds here, and just you need to have him. But for me, it's a priority stack. I don't know if I 3 or 5-man it. I'm living in that 8K range for pitchers, so definitely gonna be make the bill for a single entry. I mean, the Lizard King just isn't good. And another thing to add to that is the Nationals rotation. I mean, bullpen rotation is not very good either. I'm not a believer in Elder, so I understand the Nationals perspective, but if I'm stacking aside, I need to pick and choose. I'm going to pick the Braves, obviously to the A side, in a decent park. We got to check the weather. I see some potential weather there, but if we get the all clear, giddy up, Braves stack all day. A guy I'll probably prioritize in this slate is just going to prioritize the Austin Riley piece. I think, he's up and down now. He strikes out a shit ton. I don't know what's going on with him, but up and down, he's going to be a priority piece for me. Michael Harris, these guys. The biggest concern here is just the risk of injury. Baldwin's on the IL now. So there's some injury there, but absolutely Braves in the lineup without a doubt. Confidence 8, giving it an 8 because I think this game produces runs at a high clip. Yeah,
I like it. We're in agreement there. All right, let's get to the next one. We're rolling through. We got Detroit going to Baltimore. We got Jake Flattery, Jack or Jake. Either doesn't matter. And then versus Chris Bassett coming back for Baltimore. I love both offensive spots here. Flattery hasn't been good. He continues to give up hard contact. I love any lefty against Bassett. At the end of the it's I've stacked against him a couple of times and it hasn't worked out, but he just still hasn't been good. And I just like the spot a lot again. The tricky thing is Detroit doesn't have the scariest lefties, but they're on a bit of a losing streak here. You feel like this is a bounce back spot. They're on the road in Baltimore. It's a decent hitter's park now. And I think there's going to be some value on some guys. So like, I think Baltimore, again, this is going to be lineup dependent, but I think both teams' offenses are in play. I think a slight lean for me towards the Detroit side. Again, they're on the road, and I think you can get some cheaper bats where I think a lot of the Baltimore pieces are going to be expensive. So it's going to be hard to pair them with like an Atlanta. But I think Detroit is really interesting. At Bassett, again, you'll hear me say this to the end of time. I'll continue to play lefty against Bassett. And while, yes, he will occasionally have a decent start, his numbers still are a bit bad this season. It's still not good. So what's your take though, Dylan? I'm assuming you were
100%. Yeah. I like it too. I think a guy, listen, home run calling it right now. Colt Keith, 2-7.
Yeah, I could have predicted. I could have predicted.
This guy that's hitting the ball pretty. Statcast looks okay. Really cooled off a lot. He's gonna hit a home run against Bassett, just right in stone. The problem is I can't play him and Austin Riley. That's a little bit of an issue. So I'm gonna have to decide there. Riley Green obviously in play against Bassett. Baltimore's a fine play too. I mean, this has been a hitter's park this season. I think one of the best hitter's parks. I just don't know. You know, we have a little weather here too. Obviously, McGonagall's in play. Just looking at the Baltimore side, I could be talked in. Obviously, to playing against Flattery. When I watched him the other day, the stuff looked fine, but the guy just gets hit so hard when he gets hit. And Baltimore has killers up and down that lineup. They've kind of been underperforming. So I think this is a game you're absolutely going to want to have. As far as confidence goes, maybe a 6 that you want to get bats from this game. It's going to be more of a 3-man show for me, but it's just all lefties all day, right? It's just lefties on both sides. Colt Keith could be a priority. Riley Green's been a menace. McGonagall's good, obviously. So those would be the priorities there. Colt Keith's been splitting time with that lead prospects. I just don't know if he's in the lineup. But if he's in the lineup batting third or something, he's a fantastic play. You could easily see him get 1 or 2 home runs and just kind of blast off from this point. Because I believe in the talent of Colt Keith too. So on the Baltimore side, Gunnar, obviously, Basayo, obviously. If you're looking for the polar bear there, that's fine too. But for me, Colton Cowser's heating up. So it's just like there's a lot of opportunity in this game at a cheap salary. So just lefties all day. Give it a 6. I'm interested for sure. I'm just not sure if they're going to make the complete build on a single entry.
Yeah, I like it. Again, I think for me, it's like you can get. I like the way Detroit fits in better with Atlanta. So like that's going to be the priority for me. I think there's a lot of similar positions I like for. Like, I mean, I guess not technically. I like Gunnar Henderson. I think you can get creative. Samuel Basayo. I think, it just kind of depends on like where your pitchers land because it's gonna be expensive. Okay, I think we're in agreement there. That's a good offensive spot to target, especially on this 12-game slate. I think we'll probably both have pieces from that game. Let's get to the next one here. We got Kansas City and Seattle. On the bump for Seattle is Logan Gilbert, and then we have Noah Cameron for Kansas City. This is just like 2 like decent pitchers. Obviously, Logan Gilbert's quite a bit better. I want him to play Kansas City, but I can't play him against Logan Gilbert. You have to maybe even consider him. Like he hasn't been as good though, so I think he'll probably be left off the build. But he is 8-7, and Kansas City strikes out a ton right now. That's as sad as that is to say. I guess like you could consider some of the Seattle bats against Noah Cameron. I just don't like. He's been decent enough where I'm going to avoid it. I just don't love the Seattle lineup really, and I think it's tough for me to get there. I think obviously Kyle Raleigh, big numbers hurt. I think like throwing like 1 or 2 guys, like, Julio Rodriguez, maybe a Naylor, maybe a Randy Rosarina, even like a Dominic Canzone would be interesting, but like I think it would be kind of sparingly. I do like them visiting Kansas City and like that, which hasn't been a good hitter's park, but it is better now. And you got some guys that could hit and run. So I think it's it's kind of a fade the pitcher spot. Just 'cause I think there's better options and prioritize some of the Seattle bats.
Yeah, I think I don't really disagree because I think you said it there, but like I love Seattle tomorrow. I mean, they're gonna make a big team for me. Like Noah Cameron's underlying is absolutely horrible. He's a guy, he's getting hit so hard, and you get guys like Julio Rodriguez at 4-3, giddy up. Yeah, he's in the lineup for sure tomorrow. Love him. Colt Emerson's up. You can play him at shortstop 3-1. Cole Young, bad lead. I mean, he won't be batting lead up on this spot most likely, but even Randy Rosarena just absolutely running. I mean, if we get Carter Jensen playing catcher, we're gonna be happy there because Randy's gonna run all over him. So for me, I don't think I can Seattle 5-man. I just don't think they're deep enough. But Seattle 3-man, absolutely. I'm definitely you're going to see Julio as a potential one-off on my team tomorrow. Absolutely love the spot for him. Cameron gets hit hard. No real swing and miss. I think Julio's in prime position to hit one out tomorrow. So Julio in the lineup. As far as the confidence in this game, I have an 8. I think this is a game that you're going to want to have. I don't think Gilbert's very good. So I can see the Kansas City bats doing something. But for me, it's Noah Cameron's not good. His underlines haven't been good for a while. The chicken's gonna come home the roost here. So for me, Seattle 3. I don't think I can get to 5, but I could be talked into it.
I like it. All right. Maybe talk me into Seattle there. We'll see. I got only a couple minutes left, Dylan, so let's pump through these games. And maybe we'll just cross off some games if we want to, because I think there's some that I just am not interested in. but we'll go quickly. I'll group these 3 games together. We got the Dodgers visiting Milwaukee. You got Logan Henderson on the bump from Milwaukee, and then Robleski for the Dodgers. He feels like a negative regression candidate upcoming. Then you got Texas and LA. This is the Angels. You got Jacob deGrom and Grayson Rodriguez, and then you have Colorado and Arizona. So you have Sugano for Colorado and Soroka for Arizona. Maybe just lead off with the pitchers there. Tell me interest in any of those pitchers, any of those spots, and then any bats from those games.
Yeah, because I know you got to go and jump in the meeting. So let's just go through the rest of the game. So I think you forgot Davis Martin and
I was leaving those 2 for last because I knew you would want to talk about those. So I wanted to group those 3 together.
Yeah, those 3, I absolutely think you can pick him Robleski. The problem with the Brewers is I don't know if they're showing much pop this year, so not sure there. For me, it's just a pass. Confidence in that game. You want to play the Dodgers occasionally, but Logan Henderson's a very good pitcher. Doesn't go deep enough. Can't play either pitcher there. Bats, both interesting. Maybe a 4. For DeGrom versus Grayson. Grayson's been, he got shelled his first outing, but has been decent in the minors. Grayson's interesting. For DeGrom, absolutely in play against the Angels. Underlying stuff looks phenomenal. Angels strike out a lot. DeGrom definitely in play. For the Padres game, it's just going to be a pass. Springs has been pretty good. Walker Buehler is not very good. But I'm not a believer in that park. And obviously that sounds crazy, but it always plays to the under there. So for me, I'm gonna pass in those spots. The priority of those 3 games would just be DeGrom at pitching. What about you?
Yeah, same. I don't like it. I think there's better offensive spots, better pitching options. I think DeGrom at pitching, he could put up 40 points here, so you got to consider him though.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So what about you want to talk about the last 2 games? So
I think you just went through all those. So I think, did you mention the Colorado game or no?
No, I did not.
Okay, let's just group Colorado and Arizona, and then the White Sox in San Francisco. So Davis Martin versus McDonald, and then you got Sugano versus Soroka in the Arizona game.
Yeah, just think you have to consider Davis Martin. The underlying suggests what he's doing is real. And I'm a guy that I stacked against Davis Martin continuously for multiple seasons. And sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. But the Giants are the worst team in the league as far as the batting perspective. And even the guys they called up, just there's a swing and miss there. And in the park there, you want to play. That Bay Area is so good for keeping the ball in the yard. So Davis Martin's got to be in the player pool. I'm not sure if I can – just with my priors in him, just not sure if I can prioritize him, but I totally get the play, and I will probably lean towards him on a single entry if I can, if I'm really torn between 2 guys, just because of the safety and what you're seeing there. And I think what he's shown is real. And then Sugano's horrible, right? So Ketel Marte's heating up. You can definitely play the bats in that game. Same with Soroka, right? That's a game that could be sneaky in the Diamondback Stadium. Maybe people prioritize their other games. That's definitely a bats game. No pitchers there. For me, the White Sox Giants pitcher game. Rockies Diamondbacks bats game. But do you want to add anything before you got to jump off?
No, that's it, man. Yeah, I think we'll dive back in and we'll step in a little longer on tomorrow and maybe a UFC. I don't know. We'll see where we're at in the UFC.
It's an off week, so we're gonna take back. I mean, they're going to Macau, I think, in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Next weekend. So I started looking at the card and I was mistaken. I thought it was this week. So yeah, well, thanks. We're gonna be back. We're gonna be in the single entry streets. So we won I won the single entry and got pretty high.
I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah, come on, let's do it. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, folks. See you guys.